So, doing a review for my favorite show, The 100. This would be a review for Season 3, Episode 3, entitled Ye Who Enter Here. So, wow, that was, quite the episode. I think it's, my favorite this season so far. Like the beginning, too. That was what really hooked me in. So, it kind of takes off where the last episode ended, with Clark has now been captured by Lexa. And Lexa talks to her, but Clark isn't interested. And Lexa's like, come on now. Everyone looks at you as like the goddess of war. If you just kind of bow down before me, they'll think I'm higher than you. And, if you do me that solid, I'll do you a solid. I'll make your people my people. But Clark doesn't want anything to do with that. And then Lexa goes and has court with all the sort of delegates from the 12 tribes. And because she's, the commander of blood, they're all bowing down before her. Except for the delegate from the Ice Nation. He's this cocky guy. He's like, we would have bowed down before you. You're not the true commander anymore. And I was like, ooh, where's this going? And, like her advisor's about ready to start a fight with the guy. She's like, no, calm down. She's like telling the guy, hey, you know what? I'm going to hear you out. Let's just go over next to this massive giant window. The guy's like, okay, let's go talk about it. I was like, oh, I know where this is going. Right out the window. She just shoves the guy right out. And it's like 20, 30-story drop. He goes, splat. Guy gets turned into a street pizza. Which I thought, kind of a shame. We didn't get to know anything about that character. Now he's just, red spot on the ground. But, that gets you going. So the rest of the episode, everything's kind of focused around Lexa and Clark. And Lexa trying to convince Clark to join the 12 tribes. And Abby and Marcus, and some people are showing up at the Capitol. They think they're there for a peace treaty and to get Clark back. But, like I said, Lexa is trying to convince them to join the 12 tribes. And I did like, seeing the Capitol. Polis is what it's called. I'm assuming it's short for Annapolis. Or maybe Minneapolis. Although I think Minneapolis would be a bit far-fetched. And you kind of see the world of the Grounders. That, they have this sort of, they're living inside this ruined city. But, they have a market going. And they have they're big into the fish trade. And it looks like, they got vendors making, fried squid. So, but, here's the thing. Okay, so you're telling me you've got the Grounders, and they have 12 tribes. They're scattered all over, North America, at least, like, on the East Coast. But the people on the Ark never noticed this before. It seems a bit sketchy. I know they didn't have electricity, but you think if they had enough of the civilization going, people above would have noticed it. But, who cares? So I said, that's going on. Meanwhile, you've got Bellamy, Olivia, and Raven are going to Mount Weather, where apparently Pike and some of his people have been holding up. And Pike and his people, they're having a, time of their life in the mess hall and whatnot, which I thought was kind of weird when you consider how many people would have been, died in there. But I guess they weren't there for that, so they weren't part of the cleanup, hauling out all the dead bodies and dead children. So, life's a party. And while this is going on, we find this one Grounder showed up. She's been caught by Pike's guards. And it's Echo from Season 2, who was Bellamy's little cage buddy. When he got captured by the Mount Weather people and they were going to drain him for blood, she was in the cage next to them, and they kind of had a friendship going, and they were helping one another out. And she's back and trying to warn him and says, hey, your people are in the Capitol. Well, the Ice Nation plans on attacking. They're going to have an assassination. You need to warn them. So Bellamy, Pike, and Olivia, they take off to the Capitol. And Raven's stays behind with Bellamy's girlfriend, Gina, and Sinclair. He's back. Glad to see him again. Sinclair is the one guy who's played by the guy from Battlestar Galactica. And I guess that's about as good as a character description as you can get for Sinclair. But anyway, Sinclair needs some help with electronics, so Raven's staying behind. And they figure, you know what, since we're here, why don't we see if we can get the missiles working again? Which I thought was kind of odd. It's like the whole thing with Marcus, he's trying to get a peace treaty going, and now they've got people on the side trying to, get the nuclear missiles. Not the nuclear missiles, but just the missiles back up and running. It's like, huh? And, of course, they're in Mount Weather, which apparently between season 2 and 3, the Grounders said, hey, we don't want your people up there, or, shit's going to get real. And now they've got people up there, and they're trying to get the missiles. Anyway, so that's going on, and like I said, Bellamy and Olivia Pike and the Echo, they head to the Capitol trying to stop the assassination. You see the assassin, he's doing all these rituals. He's a weird-looking dude. And eventually, Clark convinces Abby and Marcus that, yeah, you know what, we should be the 13th tribe. Why not? 13's a lucky number. Let's do it. So, they set it up with Alexa, and they have a little ceremony, and they've got someone singing, I guess, the national anthem in Tonganese that'll Grounder language. At least that's how it sounded, but it could have been, Afternoon Delight by Starland Vocal Group, for all I knew. And as they're doing this, everyone's taking a bow, including Clark, and it's like, well, yeah, Clark goes first, she bows down, everyone's like, oh, Juanita has bowed down, Commander. Everyone's taking a bow, except for the anthem singer. And I'm like, didn't we establish that at the beginning of the episode, that not bowing down to Commander is a bad idea? You go out the window if you do that, right? Yet no one seems to have a problem with the singer. She's just singing along. I guess they don't want her, break from the song, or that that singer is even more important than the Commander of Blood and Juanita. So there's another character who's, I'm suddenly interested in. The Grounder singer. Why is she more important than the Commander that she doesn't have to take a bow to her? Or Juanita? Anyway, meanwhile, Bellamy, Olivia, Echo, Pike, they've found it. They've gone underground, and they get to the tower where this is all taking place. They're at the bottom. They kill the elevator guards, and they start climbing up. And eventually, they make their way to the ceremony where they break through, and it's like, it's a trap, right? But Echo's gone. It's like, uh-oh. Looks like they got fooled. Sure enough, we find out that weird assassin who's been in the shadows, he had this little digital watch, and when it went off, he decides to attack. And wouldn't you know it, he was hiding inside of a janitor's closet in Mount Weather the whole time. He's been, so suddenly, he's going to go start chopping up people. And who does he chop up? But Gina, Bellamy's girlfriend. And I would have felt something for her, but it's like, she's been in what? 2 of the 3 episodes this season so far. We don't know anything about her except she's Bellamy's girlfriend. So Ice Warrior guy comes up, stabs her, goes to the desk. She was in the president's office, and opens this secret compartment, starts hitting the keypads because he's got numbers written on his arm, and it's a self-destruct code. Mount Weather's about to blow up. So he leaves, and when he leaves, Gina, who's barely alive, calls up on the radio. She's like, Ravis, and Sinclair, she's like, this guy just attacked me, you better get those codes. So the 2 of them chase after the guy, And, the guy from Battlestar Galactica, Sinclair, he, tries to take on the Ice Warrior outside and gets his ass handed to him, which makes sense because, he's been up in the ARC station working computers, and this guy's been on the ground, learning to be a warrior. But before that guy can kill him, Raven shoots the guy in the back, and they try to call up Gina, who's already dead at this point, and you see the little, times, counting down, and I'm like, oh, wow, they're gonna, yeah, and sure enough, they blow up Mount Weather, and they had like 30 of their people inside, so they're all gone. That was shocking, and right away, I'm asking, like, how did this grounder have the numbers to the self-destruct code? And I said, it must have been that Carl Emerson guy, but more on him later. So back at the tower, they get a call from Ravens telling them everyone in Mount Weather's dead, and I'm thinking, wow. For one, like I said, they had attacked the ceremony, so everyone's got their weapons out against them. I'm like, I was thinking that they would have to fight their way out, but then the Ice Nation delegate once again steps up, starts being all cocky. We just did what the commander couldn't. And, Lex is like, this is war then. We're going to war with the Ice Nation. Which I'm kind of disappointed that this is the third season where, the focus is going to be on a war. I mean, the first season was war between, the 100 and the Grounders. Then it was a war between the 100, the Arker, with, the Arkers at that point, who are now allied with the Grounders against, Mount Weather. And now this season we're going to have the Ice Nation with, the Ice Nation at war with, the 12 tribes and the Sky People. But, maybe I'm wrong and it'll change. So, like I said, the Ice Nation, they tip the hand, and we find out they want the war. And, the hunt, which is good for, Bellamy and that whole group, because it's like, hey, I guess we'll be going to war with them too. So everyone sort of breaks off into their own groups, and Clark has to stay behind in the capital, so, keep things cool with Lexus. And Alexa, after everyone's gone, says to her, hey, I won't do what I did in season 2 this time around, and she bows down before Clark. And we'll see how that plays out. And at the end, we were introduced to the Ice Queen, who's like, whoo, scary looking chick. And of course, we find out that Carl Emerson, the one surviving weatherman, gave them the codes to help destroy Mount Weather, and ensued that the war was going to happen. But here's my thing. So that's it. It wasn't a surprise that he was the one that gave them the codes. I called it before they revealed it. I thought they would have held on to the next episode with that, but I don't think he's going to last too long, because now he's not really all that useful to the Ice Nation. So I don't think we'll be seeing too much of him. I think he's got one more episode, and that'll be the end of him. Like I said, tonight's episode, was pretty stunning, pretty shocking, and I liked it.